Hey Racket Warriors. So I'm always trying to find ways to improve. So I bought this new tool and I'm excited to share it with you guys and give you guys my thoughts and my first impression on this. Stay tuned. Functional Tennis has created a new sweet spot training tool called the Saber. As you can see, it comes with this very nice drawstring bag. And ready? Ooh, look at that baby. I've seen other sweet spot training tools like this wooden spoon in the past, but never thought to try it because it just looks like a gimmick until I saw this Saber, which actually is a racket. I think Functional Tennis did a really good job on the design and the paint job of the Saber. So I pulled out the specs from their website, and as you can see, a lot of the specs here are very close to what a regular racket would be, besides the head size and the string pattern, of course. So this head size is about a third of a regular racket, 37 square inch, and the string pattern is 12 by 12. Here is a comparison of the 37 square inch Saber and my 98 square inch Prince Energy. As you can see, the sweet spot lines up perfectly. So now let's talk about how the Saber plays and how it feels. So as you can see, you can definitely hit topspin with the Saber. However, I think when you don't hit the ball with your strings, you do feel it in your arms. So you really do get punished if you don't hit, the sweet spot or the strings. At the end of the day, it's a training tool, so you don't want to be hitting with this for a long period of time, or you can really get some arm issues. Alright, now let's talk about playability. So with the ground strokes, I've tried hitting flat shots, and they seem to work, but they would fall in short. But it works. So I was very curious to see how hitting heavy topspin will work with such a small head size frame, and it actually works very well. I feel like the ball actually launches and lands deeper than the flat shot as expected. So slices weren't working too well. I don't know if it's just me, but I couldn't get a single ball in, with my slices. And I tried really hard to hit the ball clean and to kind of drive the ball, through the net, and it wasn't working out. So I would say, at least for me, slices is a no with the Saber. All right, now let's see if we can serve with the Saber. Um, as you can see, it was very difficult to serve, at least with an overhead type of serve. I was really trying hard to hit the ball clean, and really couldn't get any of my balls in. But that's probably just me. But yeah, I wouldn't do an overhead type of serve with this. All right, so I think I really wanted to get a serve in, so trying some underhand serves, and it looks like that's working better than my overhead serves. So there you go. If you really want to play a match with the Saber, I think doing underhand serves is the way to go. All right, so this next test, I wanted to see how it felt transitioning from the Saber and into a regular racket. So as you can see, I'm just hitting a couple of strokes with the Saber, And then now I'm going to switch over to my 98 square inch racket and see how that feels. I think one of the first things I notice is the size of the throat, right? You know, typically for me, I put my non-dominant hand on the throat of my racket, and if that's what felt really different from the Saber. The Saber has a really, I think, really thin throat, so that was something I noticed right when I switched over to my regular racket. Switching to a regular racket, it definitely felt a lot more forgiving. I felt less kind of vibration in my arms from, not mishitting as much. So I think there is something there with the Saber. I think it is a tool that can help. Just, got to be careful on how long you use it for so you don't get any arm issues. All right, so the next is the double blade test. So just in case I need to wield two tennis rackets at a time, I want to make sure that I can wield a Saber in one hand and a regular racket. And as you can see, yeah, not bad. Yeah, I guess I would say test good. All right, so we know the real test is actually hitting against a person, since you would have more varied shots. And to my surprise, I was actually hitting pretty well with the racket. Was able actually to rally back against my good friend Matt. And at the end of it, I asked him how it felt hitting against me, when I was using this racket. And he said, it felt normal. It didn't feel like I was hitting it any weaker. So that's good news. So maybe I'll actually pull this out one day for a patch if I feel confident.
Oh no!
All right, so here's the summary on the Saber from my point of view. So on the pro side, I really think it looks awesome. And I think Saber is a pretty badass team. So whenever you whip this out, I think you're ready to intimidate anybody. And, for its purpose of helping with, finding the sweet spot, I really do think it does help with hand-eye coordination. It works well with hitting flat shots and also topspin. And comparing, all the other sweet spot tools that are out there, like the wooden spoon, I think if you are looking for a tool like this is definitely one of the, or probably the easiest sweet spot tool you'll find out there. And there are some cons with the Saber, but to be fair, it is a training tool. I would say you wouldn't want to play with this racket for too long, because it definitely does punish you when you're not hitting the strings, and it's not that arm friendly. Also, it's not that easy to slice with this racket, and almost impossible to serve. So is the Saber going to improve your game significantly? I don't think so, but I think it's definitely a fun stick to have in your bag, and I think it does help in a way. I have no regrets buying it and would like to share it with my friends. So check out the Saber if you have a chance.